She was just a few steps from home when she vanished. A simple walk back from the store, in the safety of a neighborhood she knew by heart. Her home was only 700 feet away. But Kari Lynn Nixon never made it there. No scream, no struggle, no clue. For nearly 7 years, her disappearance would haunt a small town, baffle police, and devastate her family. There were rumors she ran away. There were sightings in other states. Even a mysterious girl spotted in a crowd on national television. But none of it brought her home. Then, one day, a killer confessed. And the truth was even more horrifying than anyone imagined. This is the case of Kari Lynn Nixon, a story of a bright young girl, a shattered family, and a cruel twist that left an entire community asking, how could this happen so close to home? 16-year-old Kari Lynn Nixon was the picture of small-town youth. She was an honor student, the pitcher on her high school softball team, a passionate singer, a budding writer with dreams of leaving her quiet hometown for somewhere warmer, maybe Hawaii, Florida, or California. She stood 5 feet 3 inches, weighed just 105 pounds, and had blue eyes and long brown hair. Her favorite outfit was simple and comfortable. On that June night, it was a yellow short-sleeved shirt with blue stripes, maroon sweatpants, flat white shoes, and a jean jacket. Her ears were uniquely pierced, 2 in the left, 4 in the right. That night, around 9:30 p.m., Kari left her family's home in Osable Forks, a quiet, safe community nestled in the Adirondack Mountains, to run an errand for her father, Gary. Just a quick walk to Thomas's country store to pick up a few groceries. She bought what she needed, paid with a $20 bill, and left the store at 9:55 p.m., carrying a small bag. Witnesses placed her along Palmer Street at 10:05 p.m. She even exchanged a quick greeting with a neighbor. But 5 minutes later, a group of boys passed by the same area, and the street was empty. Somewhere in that 5-minute window, just 700 feet from her front door, Kari Lynn Nixon disappeared. When she wasn't in her bed the next morning at 6 a.m., her mother, Kathy, said her heart was immediately gripped by terror. It's been a nightmare ever since, she later said. That nightmare spread quickly through the community. Police launched an extensive ground and air search, covering a 50-mile radius around Osable Forks. Dozens of volunteers joined in, local fire departments, airmen from the nearby Air Force Base, and neighbors who knew Kari or simply wanted to help. But there was no sign of her. Not a shoe, not a bag, not a scream heard in the night. Captain Robert Liu of the New York State Police later said it best. It's as if she walked off the face of the earth. As the days passed, investigators began to examine 2 opposing theories. 1. Kari had run away. 2. She had been abducted. Some pointed to letters she had written to friends, saying she wanted to leave Osable Forks when she turned 18, maybe move somewhere warmer. But her parents and police dismissed the idea that she'd run away. If she had planned it, why would she go out in sweatpants? Why leave her own money behind? Why purchase groceries for her dad if she wasn't coming back? Nothing added up. Her room showed no signs of being packed. Her relationships at home were strong. She loved bowling with her family. She had no known issues. Her parents insisted Kari did not run away. Gary Nixon, her father, was certain. He believed someone pulled up beside her that night and forced her into a car. Maybe someone she knew, maybe not. But she didn't leave on her own. By winter, the investigation was at a dead end. Then, in November 1987, hope came from a strange place, a letter. It was postmarked from Flint, Michigan. The anonymous writer told authorities to look for Kari Lynn Nixon in Utahville, South Carolina. Her family, desperate for answers, traveled there and blanketed the area with flyers. To their shock, a local woman came forward. Her name was Shirley Canapel. She said she had spoken to a shy teenage girl 3 weeks earlier, a girl who gave her name as Kari. She remembered the girl's long brown hair, her multiple ear piercings, her soft, quiet voice. Under hypnosis, Shirley recalled even more. She said the girl was introduced by a little red-headed child. The girl claimed she was from New York and said she was down here to stay. She acted nervous and didn't say much. Shirley had worked with runaway teens before, and something about this girl gave her the same feeling. Police tried to track the friend who was with Kari that day, but that girl suffered memory issues and couldn't recall the event. The trail went cold again. As the years passed, Kari's name faded from national headlines, but not from her parents' minds. They had investigated more than 70 sightings, followed up on 1,500 interviews, and compared her details to over 200 unidentified bodies. But nothing led them to Kari. Then, in 1989, a moment of televised hope brought her parents to tears. Some family friends were watching a concert video, New Kids on the Block, Hanging Tough Live, filmed in Los Angeles. In the crowd of screaming teenage girls, they noticed someone. A girl, familiar, with long brown hair, multiple earrings. They froze the tape and played it again and again. Could it be her? When Kari's parents saw the footage, they were stunned. Kathy wasn't sure. Gary was hopeful. Investigators enhanced the footage and compared it to known photos of Kari. The earrings matched. The face looked right. The resemblance was undeniable. Even the band members joined in. Jonathan and Jordan Knight made public appeals on unsolved mysteries, asking the girl to come forward if she was Kari, or for anyone who recognized her to help. The world watched, hoping. But eventually, the girl was found. Her name was Lynette Melanchon. She was alive and well, and she wasn't Kari. Another false hope. Another heartbreak. The years dragged on. And then, in January 1994, nearly 7 years after Kari disappeared, there was a break in the case. The name Robert Anthony Jones came into focus. Jones was 29 years old. He had recently been convicted of 4 bank robberies committed between 1987 and 1993. He was already serving 15 years in federal prison. But what led police to him wasn't the robberies, it was his wife. During questioning, Teresa Jones revealed something chilling. Her husband had confessed to killing a girl years earlier, a girl named Kari. Jones agreed to speak with investigators. He admitted it all. On June 22, 1987, the night Kari vanished, Jones was back in Osable Forks visiting family. He had spotted Kari outside the market while buying beer. He followed her. Just 700 feet from her home, he pulled up beside her with a gun and forced her into his car. He drove her to his parents' remote cabin in New York, just 6 miles away. There, he raped her for several hours. When he tried to strangle her and failed, he shot her in the chest. He buried her in a shallow grave the next morning. Years later, he returned to that spot regularly, with his family, using picnics as an excuse to check if the grave had been disturbed. On January 28, 1994, Jones led police to the site. There, they uncovered Kari's remains, along with her clothing, shoes, and the groceries she'd bought that night. She had never left town. She had never run away. She had been buried all along, just miles from home. In February 1994, Jones pled guilty to kidnapping, rape, and second-degree murder. He received 18 years to life, to be served alongside his robbery sentence. His wife, Teresa, who had driven the getaway car in one of the robberies with their 2 children inside, received probation. She later divorced him. In later parole hearings, Jones gave a new, disturbing motive. He said he killed Kari because he was angry at his wife for cheating. He was lashing out at the wrong person, for no reason. A senseless murder born out of selfish rage. He claimed he committed the robberies hoping he'd be caught, haunted by guilt. But to Kari's family and the town of Osable Forks, it was too little, too late. They launched a letter-writing campaign to keep him behind bars. As of now, all of his parole requests have been denied. He remains incarcerated. In the years that followed, Kari's parents, Gary and Kathy, tried to move forward. They started a scholarship in her name. They spoke out about victim advocacy, but tragedy never stopped knocking. In 2007, Kari's younger brother Jonathan died at age 29 after a battle with ALS. In 2011, her father Gary passed away. Before his death, he met his granddaughter, a girl named after the daughter he lost, Kari Lynn Nixon. Kari should have graduated high school. She should have written her stories. She should have fallen in love, traveled, laughed, and grown old. Instead, she was taken by a predator in the darkness, on a street she had walked 100 times before. And for nearly 7 years, the world didn't know what happened to her. But her family never stopped searching, never stopped hoping. And now, her name will never be forgotten. This is Vanished and Unsolved, where the truth always matters, and the victims are never left behind.